50-year mortgage. Let's talk a little bit about it. Trump just confirmed that they're considering this, and let's be frank, it speaks volumes about the American economy and where the middle class and inflation and wage growth is. But pros. Immediately, this is going to increase the buyer pool and allow people who couldn't afford a home and a loan on a home to get in. What it is the federal government subsidizing and allowing banks to do a much longer loan term, and thus you'll have lower monthly payments. Unfortunately, as is the case with so many things, this is a double-edged sword. You'll see increased buyers, and down the road you'll see how those increased buyers will bid up the prices to essentially fill in the gap that the government will have allowed with longer mortgage terms. You'll pay a little bit less each month. You'll pay for a much longer time. The banks will get much more out of you in the long run. If you save and potentially put that into equities that are increasing in value, you could actually potentially beat the bank at its game, saving these savings. We as a nation believe that homeownership is a pathway to allowing for your family and for your community to grow and be stable. And ultimately, if you have an investment in the community, there's a belief that you will treat it with the most respect. I think this is interesting because it could provide a much needed benefit to people who are on the edge of being able to afford their way into the market. And ultimately, I think owning, even at a 50-year rate, will be significantly better than not owning in the long run. This is a Band-Aid and not addressing the root problem. A Band-Aid that allows more buyers in, similar to decreasing the interest rates, allowing more buyers in. We need to have a more productive economy in order to raise the impoverished up to afford more, as opposed to trying to artificially decrease prices. Artificially decreasing prices, unfortunately, will always end up in higher prices. Build more homes. Building more homes and allowing the supply to increase in a more organic way by lowering regulation, such as the way Texas has done it. They're experiencing quite the housing market let's say crash in terms of prices, but what that is the government allowing for less regulation, more building, decreasing the prices, and allowing more impoverished people into home ownership. That is raising people out of poverty and increasing the economic output of those people and thus the entire country. Will they actually do it? Honestly, they talk a lot.
And I think it might be good to mention that while I'm not a loan officer, typically you should be able to refinance your loan for a better term when you can afford it, say a 30-year, or even potentially pay it off sooner.